What is good, YouTube? What is good, YouTube? Welcome back into the show, Last Word Productions. I'm your host, Tavares Wilson. As you all know, I always get the last word. Week one in the books. Dolphins W. Feel good about it. A lot of good things happen in week one. A lot of bad things happen as well. Not for just our team, but for the entire league. So before we get started, go ahead. Introduce you to my fellas again. Once again, Larry, Rio, how y'all boys doing tonight?
Man,
Chilling,
chilling.
man, chilling. What it do?
Right. So
Chilling,
we got a
chilling.
lot to talk about, got a lot to cover that happened in week one. But first thing I want to talk about is we got to talk about the Tyreek Hill situation that happened before the game. And I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about in regards to him being detained by the police. I believe it was like 3 hours before the kickoff, somewhere around that time. So for those who don't know, some body cam footage was put out showing basically that Tyreek Hill was pulled over for speeding. He was asked to let his window down. He cracked the window, but then the police walked up to his car, told him basically like it was like why y'all banging on my window like that? Woo woo. Rolled his window back up. They asked him to get out the car. He eventually got out. When he got out, they put him on the ground, handcuffed him. And you see in the video, Calais Campbell pulled up as well. And he's trying to figure out what's going on with Tyreek and how he can help de-escalate the situation if any way possible. But he ends up getting put in handcuffs himself. So before we get into the actual game and the nitty gritty, I want to just hear y'all thoughts about what transpired there. What did y'all think of that? Like who y'all thought was in the wrong per se?
I'll start off. I honestly feel like both parties, in a sense, could have helped the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Tyree complying and not giving, let's say, sort of an attitude towards the situation.
Right.
You know, police main thing is just compliance, and this is a football game. This is the first game of the year in Miami. We all know about that street over there at the tail end of Miami Gardens, where the Hard Rock Stadium is. It can get very packed over there. It's a lot of people over there, people with their families, kids walking down to the stadium and everything. And he's going 100. I think they said 120 plus, 110, 120, and a 55,
Right.
burning down the street. And that could just anything can happen. We live a life of unforeseen events, unique
Mm-hmm.
events, and anything could have happened. What would we have done or said if he hit a family per se, like I just said, or injured himself, or injured one of the officers that was standing by? Because officers be posted around in that area. But
Right.
once the situation did occur, how the police handled the situation could have been handled a hell of a lot better. I feel like,
Right. Right.
and officers are, sworn in to protect and serve and everything like that. But with how the situation transpired and how everything came about, a lot of things could definitely have been better, man. Like how when he eventually did come out of the car, they did throw him out, put him on the ground and everything. One police officer had his knee on his back and put him damn near in a chokehold when he was sitting down with the handcuffs on. Like that's escalating a situation that's already at its max. We got $100 million football player driving in a
Right.
super fast car, coming in a very occupied street, going to a football game at 10:30 in the morning. It's a lot of things that could have just went wrong, and everything I feel like once the situation did transpire, wound up going wrong. So I blame both parties per se, but I do feel as if you know everything could have been handled differently and better. Somebody could have been mature and been the bigger man and said, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm gonna deal with this in this kind of sense. But it turned into a pissing contest, and those never end well when it's like I said, high profile player, a celebrity. It could have been an actor, an actress. It could have been an Olympian. It could have been anybody with status. The situation could have been done any which way. So that's my take on it.
Okay. All right. You got anything to add to that, Rio?
Yeah, man. It's really the same. When it comes down to situations like this, when it's dealing with like civilian lifestyle and it's dealing with things in the outside world, man, you can't play around with things like that. And even though, yeah, we from the crib, we the 95 boys, like we like going fast and shit on 95 and shit like that, bro. There's a time and place for that. And honestly, the main street is definitely not the way to go. Like I'm not saying, we should be driving fast. You should drive at the right speed, proper speeds and everything, and make sure you're safe. But definitely not doing it on the main road. That was what he was on 183rd, like that was over there by
Yeah,
183rd on 27 now. So
yeah. He
yeah,
was literally right outside the stadium.
yeah. So yeah, that's on 27 now. So it's busy over there. So you definitely got a vibe, bro. People be walking. You got the tourists coming to the game. People from Jacksonville.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, you really gotta like chill when it comes down to stuff like that. But also on the other hand, I definitely the other side of it, I don't like more. I don't like that side more of what the police did. That side is it was way more wrong in that situation than anything. Yeah, Tyreek could have, abided by the laws. Like I ain't gonna lie, I do. I don't when they come down to them people, boy, I don't play around. So yeah, he could have really helped the situation, but also that cop, I don't know, he must be ain't getting nothing last night or the night before, whatever. He probably mad. He probably a Bills fan, or Tyreek probably messed up his ticket last year or some shit. He getting back at him for it. But yeah,
Right.
you're not supposed to do that as a professional, as somebody that's supposed to protect and serve. You're not. That ain't the way to go. You're making people fear you.
Right. It's funny that you bring that up, that the whole ticket situation, because I seen a clip where it said like he didn't even know who the hell Tyreek Hill was, because one of the officers was like, "You know what that is?" And he was like, "Nah, who was that?" He was like, "That's Tyreek Hill, like the star player." He was like, "Oh, for real?" Like, I mean, I felt like the dude was just talking. I feel like he actually knew who the hell that was. He just wanted to act
Like,
crazy.
bro, come on, bro. Like,
You know who Tyreek Hill.
man,
Like you don't
come
even gotta
on.
watch this. You don't even gotta watch the sport. He's too big on social media and different platforms to not know who he is. At the very least, to not have heard his name before. So, especially living in Miami. I mean, this is a Miami police officer.
Exactly,
So
man.
you heard the name before. You know who the dude was. My whole thing about it, I do agree that Tyreek could have been more compliant, and he could have been a little more, I guess, not friendly, but he could have been a little bit more, willing to hear out the officers, or to actually like comply. But that
Yeah, it's
doesn't
all
just
about compliance.
yeah. But it doesn't justify him being thrown on the ground in 95-degree weather in Florida and handcuffed for a that ultimately just led to a speeding ticket. So it the police definitely escalated the situation more than it had to be escalated, for sure, and it was, quite frankly, dead wrong in my personal opinion. Like, I get it. At the end of the day, the man speeding, he shouldn't be speeding, especially like how you and Larry said, on the busy end of in this you feel me, main road, like how it is. You give him his ticket, you go about your day. The entire situation didn't have to go as far as it did, especially when Calais Campbell got involved, when he's just trying to make sure his team did all right. So I think, for the most part, man, I think the police was dead as wrong, and I think, to just for full transparency, I think they should be reprimanded in some way, shape, or form. I know the Dolphins released a statement. I'm not exactly sure what the statement has said. I could look it up right now. because I know they released it on their official website, Instagram, stuff like that. But I know they released a statement basically saying that officers will be punished if they haven't been already. So that's something that I guess is a positive. But at the end of the day, this all could have just been avoidable, and it just has to be better. That's it. And this was just one big mess that people, like Larry said earlier, it was an ego contest at that point. It could have all just been avoided. But now that we through that, let's go ahead and talk about some things we see in week one. Before we get into the actual team, because we're gonna break down the team itself. Excuse me. Let's talk about the other games from week one real quick. And is there any game before we get into the full breakdown? Is there any game that stood out to you all? Any performances? Any plays someone made? A team that surprised you? Like anything y'all want to say in particular?
A team that surprised me.
Yeah, whether it's a team, a player, whoever, like something that just was a shock, whether it was good or bad.
I'm not gonna lie, even though they did lose, I was kind of surprised at how fluid Arizona started off the game. It was kind of surprising to see like how they just came out and started. It was just kind of surprising to see how they started off that game. They started off high flying, up 17 points against Buffalo.
Yeah,
and I didn't really expect to see Arizona come out and play like that, So I feel like they were the biggest shock for me.
Okay.
Another one, I don't want to say a shock per se, but who looked impressive. I know I'm saying players who lost, but Jaden Reed, man, he looked like he looked like a very deserving number one against Eagles defense, who was touted as one of the best in the NFL for like maybe the past 3 to 4 years. And it's just amazing to see how he came from the position he started at with Green Bay, and he became such a dynamic weapon for the squad. Yeah, I liked how he looked, man. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I told you, man. He low key they won. I told you that the other night.
Yeah, Christian Watson disappointed me, even though, I've had choice things to say about Jordan Love.
Okay. Anything surprised you, Rio, from week one? Good, bad, whatever the case may be.
Let's see. I would say the Chiefs, they definitely surprised me. Well, not really surprised, but it was kind of impressive how like they on the same beat as they left off last year. Like as a Super Bowl team, it's a lot of Super Bowl teams that can't come back and like just stay on that same beat and stay with the same chemistry and give that same dominance. That defense looked pretty good. Even though I think was it a high scoring game still?
Yeah, it was I think the final score ended up being 27-20, 34 or something like that. Oh yeah, 27-20, okay.
Yeah, it was a high scoring game still, but that's like the way that defense looked, it was pretty decent. And then Xavier Worthy coming off his rookie debut with 2 touchdowns. It's nice. That was nice.
All right. Yeah, I was impressed by Xavier Worthy, and honestly, I was impressed by Rashee Rice too. I ain't gonna lie, but you go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, also, somebody disappointed me. The fucking Bengals suck. Fucking suck.
I was gonna bring up the Bengals too. I ain't gonna
That
lie,
shit
but
sucks.
yeah, it was terrible. But my biggest positive surprise, I gotta give credit when it's due, man, because I gave this guy flake for years, bro, and I gotta give it to Sam Darnold, man. I thought Sam Darnold. Listen, I know it was against the Giants, but I thought Sam Darnold looked damn good, man. I know he had his one interception, but he played with confidence. He threw the ball well. He got it to his playmakers. He had a little bit over 200 yards passing. Had 2 touchdowns, and he only had 5 incompletions the entire game, and I had 113 quarterback rating. So I gotta give it to him. The man played well. Again, you take it with a grain of salt because it's against the Giants, but at the end of the day, if you would have came in and told me Sam Darnold would have led a Week 1 victory that was a game that they won by 3 possessions, I would have said you a damn fool. But they did. So I got to give Sam Darnold credit, man. I got to give him credit when it's due. He played well. I thought he looked good. And the biggest disappointment that I seen was the Bengals. But since you took that one, real, I'm gonna go with another one. I'm gonna go with the Browns, man, because it's not even the Browns per se. It's Deshaun Watson. I mean, this dude is cooked. It's over. Like there's no other way. There's no other way to describe it, bro. Like the only reason why he's even starting at this point is because of the contract he signed, bro. That's literally it. That's it. If it wasn't for the contract, this dude would be. He'll probably not even be a backup at this point. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't understand how he woke up one day and just became trash. It just does not make sense to me. I don't know if it's because his confidence is shot. He's not there mentally because everything that's happened to him in his personal life. I don't know what it is, but this dude just looks absolutely fucking terrible. And excuse my language. He's borderline unplayable. Like I'm watching some of the games. The game, I mean, and I'm watching him miss check downs, easy reads that a high school quarterback will make. And he's not even looking at these dudes. I'm talking about one play, he had Devin Njoku wide open in the flats. He tries to throw a pass to Jerry Jeudy running a deep shallow, and it almost get picked off. I'm like, bro, what are you looking at? He is single-handedly ruining the Browns' window to be a contending team because they have everything else in place. They really do. But it's crazy to me, man. Like he looks absolutely horrible. I would not be surprised if Jameis Winston started after a couple weeks if he does not pick it up. And I doubt he will because he's been bad for 2 years now. But let's get into the Dolphin game, though, man. Let's get into those specifics. So, in regards to the Dolphins, I'm gonna pivot to you first, Larry. So, give me some of the positives you got from this game, from the Dolphins and the Jaguars game, before we get into the actual nitty gritty, like the numbers and stuff.
Some positives.
Yeah.
I could probably throw in. I liked how, even though he unfortunately hurt now, I liked how Devon Achane looked. Running through between the guards, between the interior line as a whole, because that's what they kind of gave him. They gave him flock for that coming out of the draft, saying will he be able to run between the guards through the center, run between the A and B gaps. And he looked very effective against who we talked about last part, a defensive line that had the edge compared to our line, And I really do feel as if that Devon Achane looked impressive. He was catching the ball out of the backfield. And he got us a third in 16, 17. He looked good, man. Another one is, of course, who we was just speaking on at the beginning of the pod, Tyreek Hill, with the situation that he did have to go through. He came out there and really performed. He didn't let the situation get to him. He didn't let it falter his play or his ability. And he was impressive, man. I said 2 offensive guys. I'm gonna go on the defensive side real quick. My player of the game, when I called it out before the game started, Javon Holland, man. That man, that's my guy right there, man. If not for that play, who knows what the deficit will be? Who knows how much we lose by? Who knows if we do win? But I have to give a game ball to Javon Holland, man. My guy looked impressive. He looked good. He didn't look hurt out there. He looked ready to play. He looked excited. So,
hey man,
I gotta shout my dog out.
I didn't know we was doing the Dolphins too.
You said what?
We was doing the Dolphins too. The Dolphin players too.
Yeah, he just asked.
No, we just doing the Dolphin game. Now we've pivoted to just focus on that. Well, you go ahead, Real. What's some positives you got from the game against the Jazz?
Yeah, that first one, boy. The first exact one, boy. Larry said it, boy. That boy Javon Holland, the bounty hunter. That's his nickname on God. The bounty hunter. That boy tough. That play. And I think we was in a chat when I think that was you T that said it. That boy ETN when we was in the messenger chat, you said that boy ETN had folded with that one. Holland had changed the game around with that play right there. That momentum shift. Literally, that shifted the momentum. Yeah, and sure. another big one for the defense. It's 2 more for the defense real quick. Jalen Phillips, I'm gonna give a shout out to him. That boy came back, and I don't know why people thought, and I could have sworn I said it. We can check the stats. I definitely said he was coming back the first game of the season, but him and my boy twin Ramsey with the chase down, the pursuit drill on 99. Came and made that 4th down stop, bro. That play was so crazy, bro. I seen it when it happened. Like I watched him the whole play. That jump was crazy. He literally made the guy. He started on one side. He made him go the opposite side and made the tackle on the opposite side. Like what? You made him turn that way and made the tackle that way. Big time player, bro. And he just got his contract. And then real quick on the offense, I will have to go with that boy Cheetah right off the crazy stuff that happened before the game. And also I will have to say a sleeper would be Jeff Wilson. Okay. I'll say Jeff Wilson. He came in, did his bruiser work. I don't know if y'all remember towards the end of the game, he got them hard-earned yards that we needed and them first downs. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Jeff Wilson too.
Okay. I like that. I like the Jeff Wilson mention. And the thing about Jeff Wilson, he seemed to make nothing out of into something because the offensive line was that. We're gonna get into that later, but some positives for me. I think the biggest positive that I've seen from this game, like you both just said, I think it was Devon Achane. He seemed to just be at a different gear than everyone else on the offense early on in the game, and quite frankly, he seemed to kept some momentum alive for the offense when they had nothing going. So I think that is a positive. Another positive for me, I'm surprised Larry didn't mention it. Jalen Waddle, man. Jalen Waddle came out and played well. Like 5 targets, 5 receptions, over 3 yards. I thought Jalen Waddle played damn good. I mean, this is a guy who I've been kind of not down on, but this is a guy I've been expecting a little more from. So
what's up, babe?
I told Larry last episode that I expected him and Tyreek to both go out and have big games, because I was not moved at all by the Jacksonville Jaguars secondary, despite the additions they made with Ronald Darby and safety they just brought in. Damn, I just forgot his name. It's gonna kill me if I don't look at it. I just forgot this dude's name. I can't believe I just forgot his name. Play safety. It's Ronald
Who you
Darby.
talking about, T? Okay.
The safety for the Jaguars, they just brought in there. I can't believe I forgot this dude's name just that quick. I literally was talking about him last week. Where he at? Darnell Savage. I don't know why I forgot his name. My boy from Green Bay. I don't know how I forgot his name. But anyway, they played well. I thought both of them looked explosive, fast. They ran routes well. So it was good to see that from them, man. On the defensive side, the one positive I got on the defensive side for me was Javon Holland. I thought everyone else could have been a bit better. Jalen Ramsey made big plays at certain points in the game, especially that tackle you mentioned. I thought the secondary played okay-ish as a whole. They benefited, in my opinion, from a lot of miscues and drops by the Jags. But again, we're gonna get into that with our negatives. So before we get into the negatives, though, I wanted to go through the actual box score, statistics, to just give an overall view of the game. So let's start with the Jaguars side. The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence had finished the game 12 for 21, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times, and he finished with a rating of 97.7, so just below 100. You held him under 170 yards passing. You ask for that every Sunday if you can. Then rushing, you had Tank Bigsby, who had 12 rushes, 73 yards, averaging just a little over 6 yards a carry. Travis Etienne, 12 rushes, 44 yards, almost at 4 yards a clip at 3.7. He had a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, 1 rush, 8 yards. Devin Duvernay, 1 rush, 3 yards. And then receiving for them, Gabe Davis, 3 catches, 62 yards to lead the team. Brian Thomas Jr., who looked good, by the way, 4 catches, 47 yards, a touchdown. Christian Kirk, 1 catch, 30 yards. Travis Etienne, 2 catches, 15. Evan Ingram, who I thought was going to be the killer for the Dolphins, he actually only had 1 catch for 5. So they did pretty damn good shutting him out the game. And then we go to the Dolphins side. You had Tua Tagovailoa, 23 for 37, 338 yards, and a touchdown. And he had a rating of 101, so a rating over 100. Jeff Wilson led the way with 5 rushes, 26 yards, 5.2 yards a carry. Devon Achane, 3 rushes, 24 yards. Tua Tagovailoa, 1 rush, 11 yards. Raheem Mostert, 6 rushes, 9 yards. That is absolutely terrible. I mean, none of them was good outside of Jeff Wilson, but yeah, that's something else we got to speak on. Receiving, Tyreek Hill, 7 catches, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 109 yards. Devon Achane, 7 catches on 7 targets for 76 yards. That's pretty damn good. And for Raheem Mostert, he was the next, 2 catches for 10 yards. So let me just ask you all this. Now that we read out the stats, what is some disappointments or some negatives you could say about the game? What do you think kind of disappointed you, or what you think could be improved on? Look, you go first, Larry.
I probably have to say just bringing it all together in a sense. I feel like it was a lot of spot plays between both sides. I don't want to be unfair and say like everything just didn't work out and just try to make it all one answer, but I do feel as if that it was a lot of spots instead of one side just taking completely over the game. Like, just like you said, there was a lot of miscues on the Jaguars from the hands situation. Like, Christian Kirk had some big drops. There was a lot of big drops in that game. Christian Kirk actually had 3 big drops, and 2 of them was for third downs for conversions. So a lot of things could have definitely went better from a defensive standpoint. Miscues with the offensive line, man. It's I don't want to say it's atrocious, but I don't I wasn't too impressed with how they played out there.
Mm-hmm.
Tua was pressured a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of running lanes was excuse me. A lot of running lanes were stuffed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like most couldn't get busy. Jeff Wilson, like you said, made something out of nothing. And A-Chain, you know, he even came in with a lot of tough things, you know, like coming through the holes. I won't say that it was necessarily a fully bad situation, but it was a lot of things that they could have improved on, you know.
Right.
I'm sorry to say, I know a lot of people love him. Dolphins fans everywhere.
Mm.
That man Tua, I don't know, man. 338
Well,
was cool,
hello. What you don't know? What you don't know? Elaborate.
bro. There were a lot of missed throws, bro. And there was a lot of missed throws. There were a lot of missed reads.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what? I will give him a positive. He looked good getting out of the pocket. I ain't see Tua run that fast in a very, very long time. A very, very long time. He looked really good escaping the pocket, you know, because he did have like I think a 15-yard rush or 11-yard rush. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah,
And it was
one of them was called back.
yeah, from a holding or something like that. But
Yeah.
he did look really impressive. Scrambling outside of the pocket, you know. But man, he missed some throws. He missed some good throws. He missed like 3 first downs. He missed a touchdown or two. I don't want to slate it as a bad game. And I was using my fingers to do quotations, but I'm scared for it to be week 1, you know, fresh out of training camp, and you missing throws some good throws, some clutch throws, you know. I don't want to be too much of a cynic on them, but it was an issue for me, especially with how fast and how well Jacksonville was moving the ball when they were moving down the field.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an issue for me.
Okay. All right. Any negatives we got, Rio, that you want to add?
Man, them DBs, bro. Them boy pissing me off. I ain't gonna lie to you. Them boy pissing me off terribly. Like I don't understand, bro. Like where's the knowledge? You have to have knowledge of the zones and what we're doing, bro. Like communication is key. All types of everything, bro. Like I coached this to my 13U, bro.
Off, bro.
Like I don't understand. But yeah, that's my negative. My negative is definitely the DB, bro. That coverage. I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know. It's whatever the scheme we running or what, but them DBs, man.
Okay. All right. So a lot of things I said is fair criticisms. To me, the two maybe 3 biggest criticisms I had are like one of them is a legit, like 2 of them I should say is a legit concern. The one that came from this game that I feel like could just get better is the defense. I was disappointed to say the least at the defense performance. I get that Javon Holland made a great play on the defensive side. I get that they held Trevor Lawrence under 170 yards. I believe I read a stat. It was some along the lines that the Jags had 11 drives. They were 2 for 10 on third down and stuff like that. And then they had 6 3-and-outs. That's cool. That's fine. That's dandy. However, like I just said, The Jazz literally killed themselves this game. Let's call it what it is. The game is over. You don't apologize for winning in this league. You don't, because at the end of the day, wins are hard to come by. But the Jazz literally shot themselves in the foot more so than the Dolphins actually beat them. If we're being honest, I mean, Christian Kirk had 2 critical drops that could have kept the drives going for the Jazz. One against Keda Kohu that I know you commented on, Rio, and the other one was down the sideline against Kendall Fuller, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He had 2 terrible drops that could have kept the drives going, and who knows where they would have went. And we all know what happened with Travis Etienne. So we just got to be honest, and we got to be fair with what we really seeing from this team. And from what I seen outside of the fourth quarter, like I said, the team was terrible to me, the defensive side. I thought they looked awful. I mean, there was no pass rush generated at all until the later part of the game when they gained momentum. They seemed to be getting pushed around on the offensive line because there was pretty good running holes for Bixby and Etienne the entire game. And the secondary, like you alluded to, I wasn't really all that moved by the secondary play. I mean, if I had to say it was the best looking unit at the time, then maybe, but I wasn't moved at all by it. And then on the other side of the ball, my other biggest worry, which I think this is going to be a constant problem, is both the offensive line play and the play calling, because play calling has been a problem in the latter part of the season, especially since Mike McDaniel has taken over and he refuses to hire a OC who could actually take the play calling reins. I have no idea why he wants to be the head coach, manage the entirety of the team, and make plays and call plays, excuse me. It does not make sense, because if we seen this last Sunday, his situational play calling is terrible. It's terrible. I give it to him. The Allen Ingle rush would have sealed the game for the first down. Yeah, cool. That's a good call. But these bubble screens, these short hitches, these flare outs, like that. Come on, bro. Like this not gonna work on everyone every week. Yeah, you gotta wait. You squeeze away with it against Jacksonville at home. Cool. You got Buffalo next week. I mean tomorrow. This team been whooping your ass for 5-6 years. Let's call it what it is. Like,
I thought he was gonna fly out.
You said what?
Not you.
No, but like that type of play not gonna slide when these people in town, man. Like you got to be able to call a game that's situational, and all these flare outs, these bubble screens, these unnecessary passing plays, and obvious run downs is going to be the death of this team. They have to at some point just make it happen. Like, you got to be able to turn out yards, and that goes to my next worry. The offensive line, man. I don't know what they're going to do, because Liam Michaelberg is terrible. Robert Jones isn't bad, but he ain't good either. He's okay. But Aaron Brewer, I don't know, man. I don't know. He didn't have any snap issues that I've seen, but the interior blocking and interior run blocking was not good. It just wasn't. Holes were not being open. Rushing lanes wasn't there. It's a reason why you only have one running back over 5 yards a carry, or even over 4 yards at that, because you gave the other two bell cows nothing. They had nothing the entire game. It was bad. But that's just my thoughts. Anything else y'all want to add before we go ahead and jump into this game preview for this matchup against the Bills? Anything else you want to add, Larry?
Nah, man. You can move on to the Bills game.
All right. So you got anything else you want to add, Rio, before we move on?
We good. We good.
All right. So let's jump into the Bills game, man. So Bills coming to town off of a 17-point comeback victory, just like similar to us, how we came back down from 14. They beat the Arizona Cardinals. I believe the final score is 34-28, if I'm not mistaken. And like I just alluded to 2-3 minutes ago, this team has owned us for the past 5-6 years. Josh Allen, 17. Like I always say, man, when you got a great quarterback, you're gonna always be in every game, regardless of who you playing. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the matchup and who we believe has the edge where in each positional group, just like we did last week, Larry. So with that being said, we're gonna get in the quarterback position first. So I think as Dolphin fans, we can all admit who has the edge at the quarterback position. So you go ahead, you go first, Larry. Who got the edge for you?
Come on now, don't ask me nothing like that.
It's for the sake of the question.
All right, I'm giving the edge to Buffalo.
Mhm.
Keeping it real, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's true. Um, Josh Allen, uh, a man that does not need an introduction, as they say.
Mhm.
So I don't feel as if there is any reason why we should think. Me personally, there's no reason I think we should try to consider anything else. But like you said, for the sake of the argument and the sake of the conversation and the question, um, I'm giving the edge to Josh Allen.
Okay. Who you got, Rio?
Uh, I actually got two in this one. No, I'm lying like a motherfucker. I definitely got Josh Allen. Though.
I'm about to say I don't even think you believe that one, boy. But yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious. It's Josh Allen. I mean, this dude is arguably top two at the position, so it's no arguing that. So, well, let's get off into the next positional group. Let's go with the running backs. So keep in mind, Raheem Mostert is already ruled out for this game, and it's a 50-50 chance at this point because Devon Achane is said to be a game time decision that he won't be playing either. So we go into the running back room matchup. Who do you think gets the edge if the Dolphins are down their top two guys? And remember, the Bills got James Cook over there who's coming off a pretty damn good year. And I believe they also got Frank Gore Jr. and I forgot who else they got, but I know they got Frank Gore Jr. over there. So who y'all get an
It's
edge to
a
for the
rookie
running back?
named Ray Davis.
Yeah, Ray Davis. There we go. You're right. But who
Um,
y'all get that edge to?
it's especially if you know you're gonna have Raheem Mostert out. Unfortunately, want to give the edge to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, James Cook is just as dynamic. Not with 18
Hold
was
on
faster,
now.
but James Cook is just as
Hold on.
dynamic as, huh?
Hold on. I don't know about that.
You don't know about what?
I don't know if you want to finish that
You don't know about what? I'm asking you.
one. James Cook, nah, him and Aiton is not on the same level.
You think? Hold on. You think A Chain better than James Cook?
I think yes. A-Chain on that offense would do way more than what James Cook doing. On God.
Way more.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't disagree.
I
I don't
don't know about
disagree with you,
nice man.
but
I like
I don't. di- I don't disagree with you, but I feel as if James Cook is a very, like I said, he's a very well. What I was about to say actually is a dynamic style player. He's good at the backfield, running and catching. He's a very underrated pass catcher. Like one of those type of guys that has soft hands to get up the field. His speed is very low key and underestimated, and his power is also underestimated as well. He has the capabilities of being a starter style type.
running back. And the reason why I'm giving the Bills the edge is just the uncertainty on the fact that A-Chain is going to be playing or not. More so just looking at the whole running back room as a whole, because if we're looking at just the whole room as a whole, I would, of course, give the edge to, the Dolphins, just on the fact that it's Raheem Mostert, Devon A-Chain, Jalen Wright, a promising dynamic style of A-Chain standards, you know, that style of player with the speed, able to catch, running between the lines and everything. I just do feel as if that as a whole running back room, I would give the edge to Miami, but just for the sake of tomorrow and who's going to be putting on their shoulder pads and helmets, I gotta give a slight edge to Buffalo, unfortunately.
Okay.
With most of being out, A-Chain might be out, and it's just Jeff Wilson and Jalen Wright. It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah. Okay. So who you get an edge to then, Rio?
If A-Chain play, I'm giving it to them. I don't care what nobody talking about.
Okay.
Jeff Wilson, I don't know, man. He runs hard, bro. He's an aggressive back, bro. He is an aggressive back, bro. With the right O line, that man could be tough. Like we'll hear his name a lot more. I'm not gonna lie, I like that. And Jalen Wright, I've been lobbying for the dude, bro. It's his time. I want to see it. Oh God, I want to see it. That man might go crazy. I hope he do. I hope we could find somewhere in hell and I don't know where to find the O line to play like smash mouth football. But we need that, bro. Like, and if we get that, bro, you'll see how good Jalen Wright is. And that's why I say that our if A can play, we'll have the best. We'll still have the best running back group.
Okay. I mean, I do agree if A-Chain does play, I think you got an edge somewhat because I think Jeff Wilson will be better than the rest of the guys that's not named James Cook
Exactly.
Bills roster. But if A-Chain doesn't play, I do think the Bills have a slight edge. Because at that point, James Cook is just clearly the best running back that'll be playing. But if we operating under the assumption A-Chain plays, I do think they have the advantage. But like I said, it's 50-50, a game time decision. So I'm gonna assume he isn't playing because whenever a person is a game time decision, more than likely they're not playing. Especially a running back with an ankle injury. Like that just wouldn't make sense. But
And it's the second game of the season too, so it doesn't like come on. It ain't that smart to play him if we really don't need to.
yeah, exactly. So I edge it to Buffalo. But so let's get into the offensive line. Who you all believe have the edge there between Buffalo and the Dolphins? You go first, Larry.
Offensive line.
Yeah. Hello.
That's unfortunately, man, that's a team that has most of that same O line that they came in with. I know they missed like a few pieces, but I'm stuck, man. I don't know. It's crazy. I want to give the edge to Buffalo, but just on the team that the O line that we brought back with our one addition at center. I don't know, man. I'm stumped on that one.
Okay.
No, Buffalo got Deion Dawkins. Um, I know Mitch Morse isn't there anymore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he not. He with the Jags.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get a slight edge to the Dolphins, man. It's a very slight edge. That one is one of the ones that could go legit either way to me. I'm gonna get a slight edge to the Dolphins.
Okay. Who you get an edge to, Rio?
Yeah, I probably would have took as long as Larry did to answer that question if I would have went first. But we actually came up with the same answer. I thought about it a little bit quicker than he did. But yeah, I'll have to definitely give it a slight, and that is a very strong keyword, slight edge to Miami.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll give it slight. You know, I'm going into detail. I don't play like a lot.
Okay. Well, for me, guys, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got Buffalo, and I don't even think it's close. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I think their interior play is just significantly better than what we have. Like, bro, I Liam Eichelberg and Aaron Brewer to me are fucking jokes. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think they're terrible. So until you improve between at least two of the three guard interior players, you gonna have a hard time finding me picking them having a better offensive line than anyone in the league right now, outside of maybe three teams. So I give the edge to Buffalo. But let's get into the others. Oh wait, hold on. We forgot. I almost forgot one of the most important positions. Let's go to the receivers and tight ends. Receivers and tight ends. You know, we got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek, of course. Braxton Berrios, I believe he still would be
Trash.
the three.
Please stop naming that guy.
That man trash, bro. I know y'all seen that.
Listen,
I know y'all seen that.
three. Just name the top three. And
No
then
blame him.
he the third. He the third.
The Eric Izukama.
He ain't on the
That's
squad.
big cut.
Hey, number 88, that black tall dude. I know y'all seen that receiver, bro. Where he came from, bro? Where he came from, bro?
I don't even know. But so and then you can add Durham Smythe in there.
Yeah.
You can add John Smith in the mix. First is the Keon Coleman's, Curtis Samuel, Shakir, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. Who y'all giving the edge to?
Miami by a fucking landslide. Sorry for the
Landslide.
language.
Century. I don't need to answer the century question. It's a landslide.
I don't even have to think about it, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. It's a no brainer. Miami they clearly got the better receiving room. It's not close.
I
But
will say they have the better tight ends.
who got the better tight ends?
Buffalo.
Oh yeah, that's not close. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, overall though, it's Miami though. But
Yeah, overall.
let's get into the defensive side. So on the defensive side of the ball, we're gonna start with the front sevens. We're gonna start with the defensive line, linebackers, things like that. So let's bear in mind that Matt Milano is hurt, so he is not playing.
Yes.
He's
Oh, my bad.
you good. He on IR, so he won't be playing. They got Terrell Bernard, who's been pretty solid for them since he's been starting since his rookie season, and the other linebacker, I believe Dorian Williams. He also has been solid for them as well. And then their front four is nasty, man. I'm not gonna lie. Ed Oliver, Greg Russo, AJ Epinesa. You got Von Miller in the mix still. I mean, he passed his days, so I mean, he got a sack last game, I guess, but I don't think that's someone you need to be writing the scouting reports about at this point. And then you got on the Miami side, you got Phillips, Chop Robinson, You got Zach Sealer, David Long, Jordan Brooks. You know, guys of that nature. So who you guys giving the edge to in terms of the front sevens?
I'm gonna go with us. I'm going with us.
You said you got us?
Yeah.
Okay. Who you got, Larry?
Yeah, I got Buffalo.
Okay.
It's unfortunate to say, but with our offensive line and against that defensive line, I'm terrified, bro. I'm sorry. Especially when we have a quarterback who needs time to analyze and look through at which speed receiver he want to throw to first. And if he don't have that first read, he can't move around and create something. And when you got 6'6" Miami Hurricane legend Greg Russo coming off the edge with Von Miller and Ed Oliver coming up the middle to that same interior line you say you scared of, I'm terrified, bro. And it's to the point where I pick Buffalo just solely off the defensive line. I'm not even thinking of linebackers. It's just the defensive line, honestly, that really got me thinking, man, it's gonna be a long day, you know. So
Yeah.
I give that edge to Buffalo.
Okay. Well, who you said Miami, right,
Oh, yeah, I
Rio?
said Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna give a slight edge to Buffalo. I just think their front four is just overall better. I think the linebackers are pretty interchangeable at this point. If Matt Milano would have been playing, this shit it wouldn't have been close. I'm not gonna lie. Matt Milano would have made this clear.
That's
To
why.
me.
That's why I gave it to us, honestly, because he's not playing. That's why I said yes. But
But
that's why I gave it to us.
yeah, I understand. But with in regards to that, man, I just think that front four is just too damn good, man. Like I'm one of the guys I told y'all before, man. I feel like we picked the wrong Hurricane in the draft. Man, I thought Greg Russo should have been the pick if you taking any edge rusher. And listen, Jalen Phillips is talented, he cool. I think Greg Russo is just simply better at football. I just think he is. That's just my opinion, though. But Ed Oliver, monster. AJ Epinesa, another solid rotational pass rusher.
I wanted that boy so bad coming out the draft.
They got a lot of pieces over there on that front four, man. It's gonna be a long day. It is, but let's move on to the
Hey,
secondary.
Larry,
So
mute your mic.
It's muted.
let's move on to the secondary though. So secondary, Teron Johnson, the nickelback for the the nickelback for not Panthers, the Bills. He'll be out. So that'll leave them with Cam Lewis, Rasul Douglas at corners, Cole Bishop, DeMar Hamlin, Taylor Wright, like guys like that. Christian Benford playing corner. And against our secondary, Kendall Fuller, Kato Kohu, Ramsey, Poyer, Holland. Like, so who y'all give the edge to there?
Landslide.
Okay.
That's one of those you ain't even gotta ask.
Okay.
And two people in there make it that too. Well, really three. Holland, Ramsey, Holland, and Poyer. Easily.
Okay.
I
do
in that too, man.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. I just that's overkill. Then I would have said, man.
It's a landslide. I'm going with Miami secondary.
Okay. I like Miami secondary over theirs too. I will say this though. I think they're a little bit better coached in terms of the defensive
Oh yeah,
side.
scheme wise.
I think their scheme is a little better because for whatever reason they seem to be like one of those teams that could plug and play. and make it work with damn near everyone, they really are one of those kind of defensive sides. Like they really are, because they revived a lot of careers at corner. Rasul Douglas was terrible in Green Bay. I don't know what he's done in Buffalo, but he's looked pretty damn solid. So same thing with Micah Hyde when he was with the Packers. This man was a borderline third string safety. He get over there, he becomes a Pro Bowl, all pro caliber. I don't know what it is, man. I guess Sean McDermott doing something right. But let's get into the real nitty gritty, man, and what the people been waiting for. Score prediction, game prediction, man. So we're gonna start with you first, Larry. Who you got?
28-24, my brother. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Yes, sir. It's gonna be 28-24, and we're gonna win on the game winning drive. Calling it now. It's gonna be 16 seconds left on the clock. Then Josh Allen gonna get the ball, and he gonna throw a pick, and he gonna fumble. That's how the game gonna go.
Okay. Who you got, Rio?
I ain't gonna lie. We might make Josh Allen cry. We might make him cry this game. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Might blow him out.
Ooh,
31-14.
Mm.
31-14, man.
31-14. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't feel great about it, man. I'm going with them strictly because they gotta split this series if they hope to win this division. They got to. They cannot afford to lose to this team twice in the same year again. They can't do it. If you want to win this division and you want to prove that you belong at the same table with the big boys, you got to win this game. This is the worst roster the Bills have had in the last 5 years. You got to win this game. You just have to. There's no other way around it. You should be able to beat this team as it stands right now. If you can't beat this team right now, I don't care how early in the season it is. I don't care who's hurt. I don't care who's not going to play. The reason I don't care is because they're missing key guys just like we're missing key guys. So you already was they already were the insignificant team in terms of talent. They lost more talent. There's no reason why you should go out there and lose at home week 2. There's no reason. Your main guys are playing. Go out there and get the job done. Point blank period. So I'm picking the Dolphins win this game in a close one. I say about 24-21. I think they get the job done. Sanders make another game-winning field goal, in my opinion. Now, before we head out, though, we're going to start a new segment, and we're going to call it Hot Takes, man. So what that is, basically each week, one person going to give a hot take and basically just going to, explain why they feel that way, this, down the third, all right? So since I didn't pre-warn y'all about this, I'm going to just do it this week, and y'all, we can start doing it week in and week out. So my hot take this week, and I said this on Facebook. I said this 2 years ago. I think y'all know what I'm referring to. Larry know what I'm referring to. Is I said it once, I'll say it again. Say the only difference between Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey is situation. That's it. I think they're the same caliber running back. I think Saquon is just as good as CMC. I don't turn on the TV and watch Christian McCaffrey and say there's nothing he does definitively better than Saquon Barkley. I think everything they do are eerily similar to one another. And if you put Saquon on the Niners, I don't think they get any worse. I think they'll be the same exact team. Anything I want to say about that or not?
I like Me personally, I like Saquon over C-Mac, man.
Oh, you think he better?
I like him as a player as a whole. Yeah, I like him better. The only thing that really stops Saquon is injuries. Something you really can't avoid in a sense. You can't really avoid injuries, man. They unfortunate. They happen. But he was with the New York Giants for the past 4 to 5 years. So let's see what he can do with Philly. But dynamic is an understatement when it comes to Saquon Barkley.
Right.
Speed, power, the ability to finish runs, catch the football, it's all there. And it's all there to the extent of he could carry the load himself.
Mm.
Saquon Barkley is a fantastic player. And you know, when he came out in that draft, I told you, and we agreed, he was the best player in that draft. That's including Josh Allen, Denzel Ward, Baker Mayfield, hell, Lamar Jackson. There's some names in there. Saquon Barkley was the best player in that draft, the best player from that college year. He was number one. Cleveland decided, Baker Mayfield, trash. But nevertheless, I do think I do hold Saquon in high regard, man. And I do believe that under the right circumstances, no injuries, he is better than Christian McCaffrey. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay. What you say, Rio?
Oh yeah, no, I like Saquon. I feel like it's either or for me. No matter, you'll get the same thing, either or.
Yeah, and that's all I was saying. I think a lot of people was confusing my statements because a lot of people took it as me saying he's better than Christian McCaffrey. And I don't, like you just said, I think it's interchangeable. It's a coin flip. Like both guys do the same exact thing. The thing people are getting lost in, and I said this on Facebook, is the numbers. They're getting lost in the numbers, production, the all pros, this, not a third. And they're completely ignoring the fact that Saquon Barkley literally played in the worst offensive situation that any running back could ask for. A terrible offensive line, terrible quarterback play, no receiver threat on the outside, and you got an OC that literally is calling your number each and every play whenever they need anything. Like there's no one else. Like, of course you're going to get hurt because you're getting ran into the ground as a running back behind a bad blocking team. It was inevitable. So I think a lot of people need to realize the situation just was horrible for regardless of who would have been the running back. I think people forget that Christian McCaffrey was battling injuries with the Panthers when he was all they had. Like it happens. But now that Saquon's on the Eagles, we're going to see. And when he finished this season as an all-pro running back, we will see. Because I've been saying this for 2 years. They're the same player. It's just one has been in a better situation. That is literally the difference. But we're gonna call it a show today, guys. So we're gonna head out. For those tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching, appreciate you always tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. We will be live each and every week. Just got to tune in, click the bell notification to be notified whenever we do go live. Anything else you guys want to add before we head out?
Miami Dolphins #1. You already know. 14-3, 12-5. That's gonna be that's the margin, and that's what I'm expecting from the squad. Chance for the win.
All right. Anything you want to say, Rio?
Hey man, want to know every week, man. Every week, want to know mentality. We're gonna keep it going. Remember, I said it here. I gave us the most wins in the season. So when it happens, wait for that phone call.
All right, guys. So that'll be it for us, man. We out.
Sir.